Let's be clear at the beginning. Nobody wants guns in the hands of terrorists, mass shooters, or the mentally deranged. But the big question is, how do we go about keeping guns out of their hands? And my problem with many of the commonly proposed gun control measures that politicians like President Obama and Hillary Clinton, Michael Bloomberg, and others, my problem with those is that they are simply not effective. Background, let's take, for example, background checks, universal background checks. Both of the shooters in Colorado at the abortion clinic and the terrorist in San Bernardino, both of them passed background checks. The terrorist did with handguns, and then they had a friend, a straw purchaser, to buy the long guns for them, but they all passed background checks. So did the WDBJ killer, the Charleston church shooter killer, the Santa Barbara killer, the Maryland Mall killer, the LA airport killer, the DC Naval Yard killer, the Aurora movie theater killer, the Tucson killer, the Virginia Tech killer, and both Fort Hood killers. They all passed background checks. So simply calling for more background checks is not necessarily the solution.
Sounds like a way to feel better about what you're doing rather than actually get a better result.
Exactly. And frankly, the executive actions that President Obama took with respect to background checks were really much ado about nothing, because all he really called for was better enforcement of existing law. He did not change the so-called gun show loophole, which refers to doing background checks on private sales of guns. He couldn't do that without Congress approving that. And so essentially all he did was to tell the ATF to go out and enforce this law better.